Good morning, everyone. So, we will be starting with the MCQ session on the topic nutrition, which is a part of our important chapter, life processes. So, before starting, I just want to know whether am I audible clearly. You can comment in the chat box so that we can start up the session without getting late. Am I audible? Please to comment. Okay, fine. So, moving ahead, we will be starting with one of the important question. Yes. Okay. Can you just let me know the answer? Which of the following are energy giving foods? First, carbohydrates and fats. Second, proteins and the mineral salts. Third, vitamins and the minerals. Or fourth, water and the roughage. Yes. Hurry up, respond properly and let me know the answer. Okay, very good. Yes, students, if we are talking about the energy giving food, the answer would be carbohydrates and fats. Okay, moving ahead, what are energy giving foods? Foods which are rich in carbohydrates and fats that provide us energy for our daily life activities, and some examples are maize, wheat, rice, millet, etc. Okay, further, the next question. In which mode of nutrition an organism derive its food from the body of another living organism without killing it? So you just need to name which mode of nutrition is it. Great. Yes, students, the answer is parasitic nutrition, because in parasitic nutrition organisms depend on other, but the other organism is also living, and the person on which, or on the organism in which it lives, is called as host. So remember, heterotrophic nutrition is of three types: holozoic, saprophytic, and parasitism. And to take care of the examples as well, the examples of holozoic nutrition are humans, animals, insectivorous plants. Examples of saprophytes, which feed upon the dead and decaying organic matter, are bacteria and fungi. And some examples of parasites are fleas, lice, tapeworms, etc. Moving ahead to the next one. The mode of nutrition found in fungi is: which of the following mode of nutrition is adopted by fungi? Is it parasitic, holozoic, autotrophic, or saprophytic? Yes, we discussed right now that the mode of nutrition adopted by fungi is saprophytic, which feeds upon the dead and decaying organic matter. Great. The next one. In amoeba, food is digested in the food vacuole, mitochondria, pseudopodia, chloroplast. Which of the following part helps in digestion in amoeba? Yes, absolutely correct. The answer is food vacuole, because mitochondria is a cell organelle which is not responsible for the digestion, and pseudopodia are the finger-like projections found in amoeba, as I can show you. So if we are talking about the place where the digestion takes place, it's this particular place, and this is termed as food vacuole. Moving ahead to the next one. Which of the following events in the mouth cavity will be affected if salivary amylase is lacking in the saliva? Think carefully. Which activity will be affected if salivary amylase is not present in the saliva? The first, starch breaking down into sugar. Second, protein breaking down into amino acids. Third, absorption of vitamins. And fourth, fats breaking down into fatty acids and glycerol. Which activity will be affected? Obviously, if salivary amylase is lacking, the activity performed by saliva won't be done properly. And what is the activity performed by saliva? That is starch breaking down to sugar. So, which is the correct answer? The correct answer is starch breaking down into sugar. Moving ahead to the next. The site of photosynthesis in the cells of a leaf is. You need to tell which is the site of photosynthesis in a leaf. Is it chloroplast, mitochondria, cytoplasm, or protoplasm? Great. So, as you can see, chloroplast, which is a cell organelle present in the cell of a plant or present in the plant cell, is an important constituent, and exactly it helps in photosynthesis. So remember the structure of chloroplast as well. So if we are asked what is the site, remember the site of the photosynthesis in the cell of a leaf is chloroplast. Moving ahead to the next one. Which region of the alimentary canal absorbs the digested food? We all know the human digestive system has different organs and the glands which are responsible. Which part is responsible for the absorption of digested food? Is it stomach, small intestine, large intestine, or liver? Which part is it? See students, remember, stomach helps in partial digestion. Small intestine is the actual site where digestion takes place, or complete digestion takes place, and further it absorbs the digested food because of the presence of large number of villi on its surface. Moving ahead to large intestine, its function is to absorb the water, not the digested food. And the last is liver. Liver is an important, the largest gland which is responsible for the production of bile juice. So the answer would be small intestine. Great. Next. The contraction and expansion movement of the walls of the food pipe is called what? You just need to name the movement which takes place all along the gut, and it helps to move the food, push the food downward. So is it translocation, transpiration, peristaltic movements, or digestion? The answer would be peristaltic movement. The next one. When a few drops of iodine solution are added to rice water, the solution turns blue-black in color. This indicates that that rice water contains what? If the solution turns into blue-black, you might have studied in your earlier classes, then what does that test indicate? That it contains fats, complex proteins, starch, or simple proteins. Be careful while answering. Yes, it contains starch. The presence of starch is responsible for converting the iodine solution to blue black color, as you can see it on the screen as well. When starch is absent, the color shown is yellow, and when the starch proves out to be positive, then the color shown is somewhat like blue purple. Moving ahead, the the exit of unabsorbed food material in our body is regulated by. So, which part of the digestive system is responsible for moving or for removing the unabsorbed food? Is it liver, anus, small intestine, or anal sphincter? Which part is it? So, we know liver is responsible for the production of bile juice. Anus is the part which removes. Small intestine is the site of complete digestion. But they are asking it is regulated by. So the correct answer is anal sphincter. Anal sphincter is the muscle which controls the regulation and removal of unabsorbed food material. Moving ahead, which is the correct sequence of the body parts in the human alimentary canal? Be careful. Think which is the correct sequence. You just need to tell. See, the very first part is correct in all the following. It's mouth. After mouth, we all know that the food travels through oesophagus, which is our food pipe. So two options are left, that is B and D. A and C are wrong. Next, after oesophagus, the food moves to stomach. That's also same in B and D. After stomach, food goes to small intestine and further it travels to large intestine. So MCQs in most of the case appears to be correct. There are many options which seems to be equally inviting or correct. We need to be particular and careful about the answer we are responding. So a simple case that the food will first go into the small intestine and then to the large intestine. The next one. This is the passage as well, which you can see. The food has traveled from the stomach to the small intestine and then to the large intestine. Next, which of the following is not a digestive enzyme contained in the pancreatic juice? ध्यान से समझे. There are four options: lipase, hydrochloric acid, mucus, and trypsin. These are the following four options. You just need to think and tell which is not a digestive enzyme contained in the pancreatic juice. See, pancreatic juice is the juice which is secreted by pancreas. So pancreas secretes pancreatic juice, and pancreatic juice contains enzymes. And what are the enzymes? The enzymes are lipase and trypsin. These both are secreted by what? Pancreatic juice, which is given by pancreas. But the question is saying which is not a digestive enzyme secreted by pancreas. So hydrochloric acid and mucus are not secreted by pancreas. So out of these four options, which is correctly satisfying? The C one. That is, hydrochloric acid and mucus are not secreted by pancreas. Next, the enzymes pepsin and trypsin are secreted respectively by. You just need to read carefully. Pepsin is secreted by dash and trypsin is secreted by dash. So you'll get to know the correct answer. The first, stomach and pancreas. Second, salivary gland and stomach. Third, liver and pancreas. Fourth, liver and salivary gland. So pepsin is secreted by, yes, be careful, pepsin is secreted by stomach, and trypsin, right now I told you, trypsin is secreted by pancreas. So which is the correct answer? A1. Remember, pepsin helps in the digestion of proteins and same goes with trypsin. These both are responsible for breakdown of proteins. Pepsin and trypsin. Next. The next question is about autotrophic nutrition. The raw materials required in autotrophic mode of nutrition involves. What are the raw materials which are required in the autotrophic mode of nutrition? First, carbon dioxide and water. Second, chlorophyll. Third, nitrogen. Or fourth, sunlight. What are the necessary raw materials? See, we all are studying the process of photosynthesis from junior sections, and we all know that carbon dioxide and water are responsible. They are the basic raw materials because of which the food production takes place in plants. Second, chlorophyll is also very important as it helps in the absorption of sunlight. Moving ahead, yes, sunlight is also important because it only helps in conversion of solar energy into chemical energy. So we do need first, second and fourth. And which option is satisfying all these three parts? It's the C one. So C is the correct answer. That is, the plant needs carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll and sunlight. The next, which of the following helps in protecting the inner lining of the stomach from the harmful effect of hydrochloric acid? Now, which is the lining present in the stomach which is responsible for the protection from the harmful effect of hydrochloric acid? First, mucus. Second, pepsin. Third, trypsin. Fourth, bile. Yes, the function of mucus is just to protect the inner lining of the stomach from the harmful effects of hydrochloric acid, whereas just we discussed pepsin and trypsin are responsible for breakdown of proteins and bile is responsible for what? Just write it in the chat box. I want to know, what is bile responsible for? Hurry up. Yes, hurry up. Waiting for your answer. What is the function of bile? What does bile do? See, bile helps in emulsification of fats. That means it is responsible for breakdown of larger fat globules into smaller. Moving ahead to the next one. It is secreted by liver, but I was asking the function. Fine. Next, the chlorophyll photosynthesis is used for. What is the function of chlorophyll? It absorbs light, it breaks down water molecules, or no function of chlorophyll, or reduction of carbon dioxide. What is the function of chlorophyll? Very good. The function of chlorophyll is to absorb light, and that is conversion of solar energy into chemical energy. The next one. Protein after digestion are converted into what? Protein after digestion breaks down into one of the following, that is carbohydrates, small globules, amino acids, or starch. Yes, the perfect. Protein after digestion converts into amino acids. Proteins टूट कर किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं? अमीनो एसिड्स में. The next, carbohydrates in the plants are stored in the form of, जो carbohydrates हैं plants में वो किस form में store होते हैं? First, glycogen, second, starch, third, glucose, fourth, maltose. जो carbohydrates present है plants में. Yes, carbohydrates present in the plants are stored in the form of starch. And remember, carbohydrates present in humans or in animals are stored in the form of glycogen. When we do not require all the amount of carbohydrates, the extra carbohydrates which we do not require at that particular time is stored in humans in the form of glycogen and in plants in the form of starch. Next, the small pores which are present on the leaf surface are called what? Just need to name the small pores. We'll be moving ahead. Is it stomata, chlorophyll, guard cells, or none of these? Yes, the small pores present on the surface of the leaves are called as stomata. Stomata are surrounded by guard cells. See, the small tiny pore has been magnified and is showed in this particular form. This part, the whole, is termed as stomatal pore, and these bean shaped like structures are termed as guard cells. The next one, this is again a very important question, and you might be finding some new terms. Photosynthesis is a dash process. First, catabolic, second, parabolic, third, amphibolic, and fourth, photochemical. Photosynthesis is a dash process. Yes, it is a photochemical process. Photo because it involves the movement of photo because it involves light, and chemical because it is responsible for generating chemical energy or chemical energy in the form of food. So photosynthesis is a photochemical process. Next, opening and closing of stomata or opening and closing of pores, stomatal pores, is a function performed by. अब जो stomata है, and I recently showed you a stomatal pore. So opening and closing of stomatal pore is regulated by stomata, the tiny pores, chlorophyll, chloroplast, or guard cells. The correct answer is guard cells, and even upon the turgidity of guard cells. See, the guard cells are responsible for opening the stoma shown in the figure. The stoma is also the stomatal pore. The guard cells open when they do not need to conserve water, and the guard cells close it when they need to conserve water. Next, which element is used in the synthesis of proteins? Out of the following, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, which is responsible for the synthesis of proteins? प्रोटीन्स बनाने के लिए हमें कौन से एलिमेंट की रिक्वायरमेंट है? Okay, it could be hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, or carbon dioxide. The answer would be nitrogen. Nitrogen is an important constituent for making proteins, and that's the only reason, or the most important reason, we do need nitrogen. And we cannot consume nitrogen directly. I hope you all know. We just take up it in the soluble form of nitrates and nitrites. Next, temporary finger-like extensions on amoeba are called. So the finger-like extensions in the amoeba are called: first, cell membrane, cell wall, pseudopodia, cilia. Yes, the finger-like extensions on the amoeba are called pseudopodia. Next, you can even see in this figure, these are the finger-like extensions which which gets observed when a food particle is nearby amoeba. Amoeba just creates these finger-like projections and trap the food particle, and the next stage is the formation of food vacuole. So this pseudopodia makes up the food vacuole. Next, lipase acts on. Now what is lipase? Lipase is again an enzyme which acts upon amino acids, fats, carbohydrates, or all of these. Lipase helps or in the breakdown of what? Is it amino acids? See, amino acids is the final product which we obtain after the degradation or after the breakdown of proteins. Fats further break down into fatty acids and cholesterol, and the breakdown of fats into fatty acids and cholesterol is done by lipase. Lipase is the digestive enzymes which break down fats. See, it's also shown in this particular case that fats break down into fatty acids and cholesterol, and over here lipase helps in further doing that, and lipase is secreted by pancreas in the pancreatic juice. You can take the screenshot of this particular slide. It's very important. You all must know which part is responsible for what. Carbohydrates break down to glucose, proteins break down to amino acids, fats break down to fatty acids and cholesterol, which is done by both the intestinal enzyme and lipase, and trypsin breaks down proteins into peptones. So there are many 1 mark questions which can be asked from this particular slide. So that was the last MCQ for today's session. Till then, take care. Thank you for joining the session.